And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Anytime you're talking about fundamentals in a market and direction, fundamentals take a little bit of time to play out.
We got crude oil today, kind of trading yesterday's value area really nicely, low to high.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trade routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the market recap. It's Tuesday, January the 18th. I'm Dan Hodgman. I'm John Hoagland. Dan got tied up a little bit today, so he asked me to take care of the recap for him. I'm more than happy to do so. Hopefully, you've had a good trading day. Just to recap what's going on in the markets today. The Abu Dhabi attack yesterday raises, of course, geopolitical tensions as crude closes at its highest level since October of 2014. Goldman and JP Morgan now see prices above $100 a barrel by the summer. As far as demand is concerned, I should say supply is concerned, we have the API due out this afternoon, but we're going to have to wait until Thursday to find out with the EIA petroleum status report. As far as the mini S&Ps and the Nasdaq, we've got some banking earnings, the latest scare to the equities markets, U.S. stocks. The ES and the Nasdaq closing below some pretty important levels here. We're going to see that on the charts shortly. The Dow also, last I saw, was down over 500 points. Gold was a volatile day as investors mull potential risk-off stance, quite possibly. We don't know what's going to happen, of course. The euro dollar rally sends the euro back to previous balance. A breakout last week, break back in this week. The 10-year yield continues to maintain higher prices, higher yields, I should say, throughout the session and continues to push price lower and lower. In the nat gas just seems to be waiting for instructions. Maybe Thursday we'll find out some of those instructions for nat gas as well as crude oil. Again, hopefully you've had a good trading day. Just kind of trying to figure out what happened in the world here today. Not that much really seemed to be going on. Most important, of course, the earnings and of course, the attack in Abu Dhabi. Goldman CEO says he sees real wage inflation everywhere after a 33% jump in pay expenses. Maybe if you work for Goldman. U.S. companies are expecting to pay an average 3.4% raise to workers in 2022, and that might be maybe a half of what the what's the word I'm looking for? Oh God, I must be tired. Inflation is going to take from you. There it is. I knew it would come up eventually. So there's something in here that airlines are going to limit 5G near airports. I must have seen that here somewhere else, but it's really what's going on, at least financially, it seems. There's not a whole lot going on here. So I'm going to say hello to everybody. Of course, Equanimous. Good trading day, yes. Wondering what hours you would select for volume profile and currencies. 7:30 till 2 o'clock. That's the old trading pit hours. Actually, it's 7:20, but on the TS Trader platform, you're going to have to go from 7:30 on. Good afternoon, Phil. It's good to see you. Brody, David, Bill, good to see you. It was a rough one for Devant. Sorry about that, but hopefully you've survived and you're going to be ready to play again tomorrow. That's most important. Dr. VJ, good afternoon to everybody, and David Keene, inflation. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. Yeah, I must be a little bit tired. It was a busy day today, busy day, and I know, we've all had some busy trading days of late. So let's go ahead and jump into the charts and let's take a look and see what happened. Here we go. So this is crude oil. We had weekly kickoff high here at 84.80, pretty close to that all-time high that we were just talking about. Some pretty decent volume, but of course you have to remember it's still in rollover, so the volume is a little bit blurry. We don't have any open interest information. We'll find out about the last two sessions tomorrow. So the market really just continuing to push higher on supply worries. Demand, we're going to have to wait again until this afternoon for the API numbers and the EIA numbers. Here's the volume profile for today. Surprised I didn't have it on there. 8 o'clock open, 1:30 close, continuing to push higher even after the close. But again, it's a new high, at least a high we haven't seen in the last 8 years. Take a look now at the S&Ps and the Nasdaq. All right, so we've got weekly kickoff low. We're going to be closing certainly below that. That weekly kickoff low, 46.02. That's a level we're looking for longer time frame traders to adjust inventories, and it certainly looks like that may be the case. Now this is the 100 session simple moving average. This is on the March contract. This is on the continuous contract. Looks like we are going to be closing below it, perhaps on both. You take a look at what we've done up against that 100 session moving average since kind of coming back above it back in October of last year. We've tested straight to it a couple of times. 1, 2, 3. Now we're closing below it. We're a little bit more than 5% off our all-time high. And, we could certainly see 10, 15% pullback, depending, of course, on, the uncertainties that are out there in the globe right now, as well as our earnings. So far today, the earnings have not been particularly gratifying. So here's the 30-minute on the E-mini S&P. And we opened really testing that weekly kickoff level. Once we broke down below it, we saw it one more time, pretty much to the tick, one tick above it. And that's the last we saw. We looked at the market. We continued to move lower. We're trying to kind of close up this gap that we left a couple of weeks ago. So far, unable to do so. One of the things that I do notice about this chart is sometimes when the S&Ps have a rough day or a series of rough days, the market will all of a sudden kind of flash back and we'll have a decent close. Today, it's looking more like we're going to be closing right on its butt. And I'm not all that pleased with that close. I think there's, we are pushing past. We talked about this, I think, this morning. All the buyers that we saw here, every time we got down to this level, boy, we were rejected. Not today. Not today. It's what they used to say when in Game of Thrones, when death came knocking at your door. How do you ask? You say, not today. Here's the Nasdaq. Again, closing below weekly kickoff low. If we want to see what that 100 session moving average looks like, we're well below it. I think we may even be dancing with the 200 session. Dare I check? Now, this is just on the contract chart. We got to make sure we get the right information here. So yeah, we are flirting and below what appears to be the 200 session. Not sure I necessarily believe that. We may have to put up a continuation chart to see that, but it's not good news technically or fundamentally for our equities. And now we'll check out gold, which, boy, oh boy, we were looking at this morning as a bull flag. Boy, we really looked below it. We rejected very quickly. We traded basically to the upper line here, and we're still working on that. All right, so here's Ricardo, the continuous chart. I'm going to just put up another tab here. We go and sign, and then NQ. That's going to put up the continuous Nasdaq chart. Okay, so now we're going to go to the daily. Let's see what the 200 session simple moving average looks like here. So yeah, just as I suspected, we're not there yet. We're below the 100, closing below the 100 for the first time in a while in the S&Ps. So we've got, again, about 5%, a little more than 5% off the high in the S&Ps. But that's how you put up the continuous chart. You just put the and sign. All right, good. So gold, just going back to look at this. Boy, what a just we'll put those lines on there, and we really just enveloped the pretty much the entire session with those. I love it when that happens. The euro, talking about the dollar holding up today and continuing to put some downside pressure on the euro, back into range, back into the 2-month-long doldrum that we were in. We're back in it now in the euro. Let's see if we get another look at down below. And then the 10-year, I'm just going to go quickly. Well, this is the net gas. Very little change in the perception of value here. Very little change in the perception throughout the session. I think this market is, like I said, looking for new information. Here's the 10-year. Okay, we had the breakout down below. We've got rates expected to move higher, already moving higher. Rates last time I checked were exactly where they were this morning, so no relief from the sellers here for the 10-year, continuing to push lower. Let's take a quick look at the 30-minute chart here on that. Yesterday's session, no real gap close up to there. And really just grinding to the downside. Boy, any longs really just got ground to a pulp in those 10 years today. So we've got Tuesday behind us. We've got 3 more days this week to look for some opportunity, and it certainly is looking like there's going to be some considerable opportunity coming for the week, for the month, even for the year. So be prepared, take good care of yourself, and be diligent in taking care of your homework. I think Dan goes to this day in history. After that, we have 1996 MLB owners approve interleague play 1912, Robert Falcon Scott reaches the South Pole. Bet he was cold. Of course, it's summer down there right now. 1778, Captain Cook reaches Hawaii. I wonder if Peter Pan was waiting for him there. 1990, I remember this. Washington, D.C. Marion Barry arrested on drug charges. Oh boy, this day in history. Today is the day that the Beatles reached #1 with their debut hit, I Want to Hold Your Hand. And Barry Manilow scored his first #1 hit when Mandy went to the top of the charts today. Nothing too all that interesting here. There's nothing about Led Zeppelin. That shouldn't happen. I think today actually is the day that the Bad Company was founded with Paul Rogers from Free and Mick Ralphs from Mott the Hoople. Remember Mott the Hoople? We're dating ourselves. And King Crimson's Boz Burrell formed Bad Company. The first album was a #1. That's going to be about it for that. $7.30 also. Yes, on the gold chart. Yeah, gold, although closes at 12:30. So there's a little earlier close on gold than the currencies. So let's see here. All right. Well, I know that it was a busy day today for me. I'm going to get some good rest tonight and be ready for the fireworks tomorrow. I will be back with you for the market forecast. As always, I appreciate you joining me. And if you were in the Top Step Trading Foundation today, hopefully you found it interesting. Another day for us tomorrow. And then we've got Trading Psychology on Thursday. Tomorrow we do have group coaching as well. Please be patient. I've got it set to start at 1:30. I will be there as soon as I can. And I do not adjust my volume profile for that. I'm not sure that you can. So if you're on TS Trader, you're going to start at 7:30. It does change things a little bit. If you're watching the opening range trade, see if you can't open up that 1 minute chart and use that 1 minute tool, that Tiki tool on TS Trader that we look at on crude oil and the open. By the way, that opening range trade was pretty good for about 70 ticks, but came right back up to it and took out that high. So take profits, ladies and gentlemen. Take profits. All right. So I will let you go. Get a good night's rest. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Say a prayer for us all, and I'll see you tomorrow morning on the market forecast. Have a great and a peaceful night.